Kablam!
Wow.
Hi, Druid IRL. How are you?
Hi, Stormy D. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. We're back again with another Bandwidth and Banter interview today.
Yes.
I loved last week. Don't get me wrong. It was lots of fun. Just chatting amongst ourselves about what kind of our concepts of streaming and the Stormkeep and the super community we're building, all the great philosophies and stuff we got to talk about. Did you have fun?
It was wonderful. I had so many big feels and stuff, and I loved it.
Mm-hmm. It was good.
It's so good.
Yes. And we're not sorry that we made you cry on stream, because it was a happy cry.
Twice.
Yep.
I've cried on Bandwidth and Banter twice now.
Yep. And I'm sure it won't be the last.
Nope. Guaranteed.
So it was a great time last week on Bandwidth and Banter, guys. Thank you all for making it an amazing episode where we got to learn more about each other and what we plan to do with the Stormkeep super community going forward. So it's a pleasure to be back again, interviewing another amazing person. Oh my gosh. What do we have today, Druid?
Edible Wizard!
I know, Edible Wizard, or as I like to call him, the Lord of Tasty Mages.
Cheese for everyone.
Cheese for everyone. That's awesome.
I wear a special shirt just
for him.
For Edible Wizard today.
Yes, our man, Edible Wizard, we know him and love him through a couple of different folks, Banana Tom and more specifically Mia Mao and Nella Doodle. So all of that amazing UK crew over there. So without further ado, this warm, amazing, talented, and creative fantasy style streamer himself. Let's bring on the old Edible Wizard. Don't shoot us with spells, man.
Pew pew. Finger guns. Spells.
Pew, pew, pew.
They're spells. They're spells.
Yep.
Hello, everybody. Y'all are too nice. Way too nice, though. I was over here. I don't know if you could see it, but I was cheesing as you guys were introducing me. It was, oh my gosh. But like they said, hello, everybody. I am Edible Wizard. My brain doesn't want to work right now.
It's okay. Take your time, brother. We're here together.
No. Yep. So over on my channel, we do all kinds of craziness. It's just pure chaos, really. Honestly, it's pure chaos. I'm a variety streamer, stream everything from Souls-like games to Goose Goose Duck. Ow. Oh my God! See, they're here. They're ready. I warned you about them. I warned you about them.
I love it.
But yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. Well, my streams they're all about the community, really. Like I wouldn't be streaming if it wasn't for the community.
Agreed.
Same.
And I understand that you have some charity stuff. Streams getting ready to go.
So my second year affiliate date is November 7th, but instead of doing like a subathon or anything like that, what I do is a charity campaign for a charity called Stand Up to Cancer. And if you don't know that charity, what they do is they get leading researchers in the cancer field, either scientists or other doctors, and they put them all together to help find cures, hopefully, or better treatments for cancer. And we do that through Streamlabs charity. So anything that gets donated is donated. 100% of it goes right to the charity. And that is from the first week in November 1st to the 7th. So we do a full week. This year, I have 16 other streamers that are joining me in this. It's crazy.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yep. We had a little bit of a camera hiccup there, but luckily we still had your audio. And it was a nice looking like screenshot of your face. So
great.
We will continue on. I'm sure it's just, internet has been acting flaky across the US lately. So I appreciate you sharing that with us, Edible Wizard. We're going to jump straight into the Q&A so we can highlight more about you and learn more about you. How's that sound, buddy?
That sounds great to me.
All right. Starting off with our usual but tried and true important question. Please share a boring fact about yourself.
Oh, boring. Boring fact? Mm-hmm. I don't have a boring. No. That sounds very conceited. like I don't have a boring fact about me, but
I'm the most fascinating human on the planet.
Exactly. Thank you. Yeah. No. No. And
it's a hard question.
I watched last week or a couple weeks ago. So I heard this question and I was like, what would I think? What would I choose? What would I choose? But nothing would actually come to mind. I was trying to think of maybe some like little talent. I mean, I can bend my thumb backwards. I can do that.
Oh, that's kind of interesting. Okay.
It's
not bad.
Boring fact.
Here's one too that you actually shared with us in the pre-interview phase, if you don't mind me sharing on your behalf.
Yeah, go for it.
You indicated to us that you don't do any maintenance on your beard.
Oh yeah, I guess that would be pretty boring if you're a beard person. I don't do any, like I may like trim up the sides, but there's no beard gel, beard oils in there. I just let it do its thing. I let it do its thing.
Live, laugh, lovin'.
Exactly.
How did you pick your Twitch name and what was the inspiration?
So I know a lot of people are thinking that just based on the name, it is marijuana related, but that is not the case.
Oh, I wouldn't. So, I didn't think that. But
yeah. I get it a lot, like because I use this username, like PlayStation, Xbox, all that stuff. So I get it a lot that people are like, "Hey," and I'm like, "No, not so much." I have nothing against that, but the name came up from the Xbox 360 days when I first got my Xbox. I was just randomizing names, and I was like, I want one that's going to make people go, "What?" And I stumbled across that, and that I've just used that ever since.
I love it.
It's awesome. It's very marketable and it's funny, and honestly, the fact that it gets people thinking particular thoughts isn't a bad thing because it sticks in their head.
Does.
So.
It's definitely memorable. I love it.
Switching gears into some of the more interesting questions that I'm honestly personally wanting to dive into the most here. We have quite a few of these in this particular topic, but it's just the way it is. Share with us, Edible Wizard, what D&D class do you consider yourself to be IRL?
Oh, okay. Real life? Well, I was going to say something that may be a question that's coming up, so I'll hold that back. I just based on the entertainer aspect or being Twitch, I would go with Bard. Am I a fan of Bards? It may be a controversial topic, but I would say Bard just based on the entertainer aspect because Bards, they're not just strictly music, right?
Right.
They can be. There's multiple forms of entertainment. But I would say Bard.
Love it. Perfect.
Nice.
Tell us about your favorite D&D character you have played and your favorite D&D NPC you have created for a campaign.
Okay. I actually have my favorite character right here. I don't know if you're going to be able to see him. He is a half-orc barbarian.
Oh, cool.
Ooh.
Barbarians are my absolute... It's blurry. Sorry. Barbarians are my favorite. Love a barbarian. Just a little rage monster running around and kicking ass and taking names. So they're my favorite. Absolute favorite. One of my favorite NPCs that I've created, because as I do run a D&D group for friends and family. We do it in person. I've never done like virtual tabletop as a DM, but one of my favorites would have to be this captain of a merchant ship. and the players kind of helped me come up with the name on the spot, because it was one of those characters where I had to improvise something real quick. And his name was Captain Hungy.
Okay.
And I just really enjoyed playing him because he didn't. The players were all about shenanigans and just trying to get away with as much as they could, and he just didn't want to put up with any of it. He actually kicked, not in the middle of this, was after the trip. He kicked him off the boat. They encountered him again later, and he just wanted nothing to do with them. He's just like, no, you guys are gonna have to find a different boat, and no, not me.
Yep.
He just figured they were bad luck because of the journey they had. They encountered harpies. They encountered a succubus along the journey, and it was crazy.
Yep.
Gotcha. Right on.
Oh, I love
Thank
that.
you for sharing those. That's cool.
Oh,
I would
yeah,
love
absolutely.
to have been a part of that. Let me ask you, when was the last time you got to be a player in D&D?
Oh, man.
Another forever DM.
I know. It seems like it.
It was actually in this campaign that we were doing, but it's so I gave my players the deck of many things at like level 4. Just because.
Wow.
Stormy's face, like I knew it. Yeah, it was a choice. And they pulled, a couple of them pulled from the deck, some didn't, and just kind of derailed the campaign a little bit. I forgot where I was going with this. My brain just went straight to when I was a player. So one of the players pulled the dungeon card. So his character just straight up disappeared and was sent off to a random dungeon in the middle of nowhere. So what we did is we let that player DM for a little bit, and then I took my barbarian. And so he came up with the story as to how we got his character back, and then I took back over.
Oh, that's cool.
That's super
How long
cool.
ago was that?
We haven't played in a long time because everybody got busy.
Sure.
Yeah.
But it was definitely over a year ago.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yep.
What do you find most fulfilling about being a DM?
The stories. I love the aspect. It's some people get the mindset that when they play D&D, it's DM versus the player.
That's wrong.
That is not at all how it's supposed to go. It's a cooperative storytelling experience, and the way I run my campaigns. And you're not, as a DM, you're not out to kill your players. You're not. You set challenges for them, but you want them to succeed. You want them to come up with crazy solutions to your puzzles or things you didn't even think of to cover in your prep. My campaign is completely homebrew. So
Ditto.
like I want them to come up with ideas outside the box.
Indeed. I like him. I knew I would.
And I will say, like, some of the best DMs, while they borrow work from other, you get inspiration from other things too. Like you'll see something somewhere and like, oh, I want that in my campaign. Yeah. And you can tweak it a little here and there, but it's the experiences that I've had with my players, the memories that we've made, I think that's the best experience, I would say, as a DM, the memories you make with your players.
I concur. Yeah. I concur. And yeah, our philosophy completely aligns, and appreciate you, sir. Yeah.
No, I appreciate you. Thank you.
D&D, bringing us closer together.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Is the next question mine? I got a little derailed myself.
Yes. 7.
It is. Okay. This is an interesting one that I was curious about. What is your least favorite D&D character class?
Oh, man. Oh. So I haven't had the experience of DMing for all of them, but out of the ones I have, as a DM, I would say Artificer. because they can do so much. It's so hard to plan and prep when you have a character that is basically a jack of all trades, and they can do so much. Um Second, I think if you're using the critical roles characters and some of their stuff as well, the blood hunter, I don't think the blood hunter does enough. I have a blood hunter in my campaign, and I just feel like compared to the other players, it seems like he is lagging behind a little bit in everything he can do. So from that aspect, I would say blood hunter, but as a DM, artificer.
Yep.
Gotcha. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, yeah.
What drew you to Twitch?
Wait, I'm sorry. What? What is?
I said
What
that
drew me?
really fast.
Yes, you
I
did.
said it really fast. What drew you to Twitch? We
What drew me?
transitioned topics.
No, you're fine. I am a disabled veteran. So I don't really. I'm not working, and I play video games. That's it. I've played video games for as far as I can remember. And I had a couple friends that were streamers, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try it out myself, and it's fantastic. Like it, you get to experience a game, but also you have these fantastic communities. Like I wouldn't be streaming on Twitch if it wasn't for the other people that I've met on here, the communities that I am in contact with. They're all fantastic people.
Yeah,
fantastic people.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So on that same kind of topic trail here, what did family and friends think when you told them that you planned on streaming?
They didn't say anything. My brother used to come by my stream a little bit, but my family doesn't really come by my streams. They know I play video games, they know I stream, but they don't really come by, which of course I wish they would. Wish they would come by, but no, my friend, I do have some friends that army buddies and real life friends that do come. I seen Zal's message there. Oh, I'm trying to ignore what he's saying because chaos. It's anyways. Family and friends, they just like, yeah, that's something Edible would do. I almost said my real name. I was like,
Yep.
I gotcha.
What struggles did you deal with when you first started streaming?
Streamlabs issues, audio, tech issues, issues. Because the equipment I had when I first started streaming it was good enough. Like I could do certain things. The computer I had at the time, like I couldn't play games on high settings and stream on the old computer. But if I played for my PlayStation, then yeah, I was fine. But tech issues, 100% tech issues.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Well, what tips then can you share with future streamers?
That's a good question. The biggest thing for me is audio. Make sure your audio is good. There's no echoes. There's essentially make sure it sounds good. Like if I go into somebody's stream that I've never been into, and I'm just like browsing on Twitch and the audio is off, that's the first thing for me is it kind of puts me off. I'm like, I can't listen to this because it sounds echoey, or even though like I want to stay and support somebody, but it audio also. Don't force yourself to stream. Like if there's a day that comes up that you're just not feeling it, you're mentally, you're just like, I don't want to do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Your community is still going to be there for you. So don't force yourself to do something you don't want to do.
That's great advice. I appreciate that.
Yep. Love that. I have a feeling I know the answer to this question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. What do you enjoy most about streaming?
Oh, the people. The people. The absolute chaos that they can cause. Like, there's been many a moment in my streams where it's just chaotic. Chat's going wild. I have so many different alerts and different redeems where stuff pops up on the screen. Like there's a new one that I just added where there's 7 different variations of it, and it randomly picks from one of those, and it will pop it up on the screen. And it was actually a clip taken from Zhao's stream. We were playing Phasmophobia. No, excuse me, Demonologist. And it was me dancing and then him talking in the background. And but I just put a bunch of different music to it, and it gets chaotic. But to answer your question, the people, like I love the like I could play video games on my own, but the experience that you get from other people going through the same thing you're going through, and the commentary sometimes you get from chat, it's amazing. I love it.
Yeah.
Right on. I agree.
Yep.
So how long have you been playing video games, and what was the first one you, ever played?
Oh, the first one. So if you ask my family members, as soon as they came out, I was playing video games. Like I think one of the first systems I had was an Intellivision, and that was basically a big, I guess you can compare it to an iPad now, but it's just basically a big thing that has a bunch of numbers on it and then a little dial down here. It was but the first game I have no idea. It probably was like Pitfall or Double Dragon, now that I think about it. I've been playing video games for a long time. I
love it. That is so great.
Mm-hmm.
What is your favorite game and your least favorite game that you have played on stream?
Ooh, least favorite would probably be the one that I just did.
Oh.
I went through it. The Beast Within was the story. I'm not going to spoil anything for anybody that wants to go through it, but the game was confused as to what it wanted to be. It's supposed to be a horror game, and it had some jump scares, which I think most horror games nowadays is just all jump scares. So but yeah, definitely the Beast Within was probably the worst one I played on stream. Some of the other people in chat that have been around, they would probably Luminous. They probably have other choices as to what would be the worst game.
Did you say Loomis?
Luminous Pool. There's somebody that popped in chat. I haven't seen him in a while, so it was good to see you, dude. Good to see you.
Sorry, it's just that we have a friend of ours, a fellow streamer. It goes by Loomis 360, and so I didn't know.
Oh yeah, no, you're good. You're good. Okay.
So
the other part of that question.
Your favorite game that you played on stream.
Favorite game. Yeah. Favorite game that I played on stream. Ghost Runner, I think.
Really?
It's such a good. If you haven't played Ghost Runner, it's basically Genji from Overwatch Simulator. It's extremely fast paced. It's like one hit, you're dead, but you get a bunch of different wall running abilities. You can slow down time and like kind of move in the air to dodge bullets. It's a fantastic game. The second one is coming out like this month, and I'm super excited for it.
Cool.
Can't wait.
Oh yeah, we'll have to check that out. Is it going to come out on Steam?
I think it is on Steam. I know for sure it's on the PlayStation.
Cool.
Should be on Steam. Should be.
Gotcha. All right. So, I like this question. This one. What is the first anime that made you an otaku?
Oh man, trying to think of the first one that I've got that I got into. So I didn't really watch anime during the Adult Swim period. Like I did Samurai Jack and stuff like that. But the Toonami period there when it was on Cartoon Network.
Mm-hmm.
It's old. I would have to, Full Metal Alchemist. I would say Full Metal Alchemist. It's Brotherhood specifically. It's amazing.
That's
amazing.
a good one to get people sucked into anime.
100%.
For me, it was
100%.
X. I don't know if you've ever watched the series, but I
Haven't.
highly recommend it. X. It's just
Ooh.
called X.
What is X about?
That's a hard one. It's a very abstract anime. It's wow. It's basically a kind of set in a sort of pseudo sci-fi future, and there are these kind of immortal beings that are fighting each other for dominance amongst each other, and they're different characters, and it's really hard to describe, and that's why I liked it so much. It was one of the first pieces of entertainment that I ever watched that said, as it presented to you, it said, "I don't think you're stupid. You're probably even if you're not, you're probably not going to get this, but I'm going to share it with you as it is." And that's what sucked me into anime. It was like, oh wow, they anime, if it's done right, they just let loose with all their creativity. Yes. And they don't expect you to figure everything out. They're not going to just spill it out for you. You can like fill in the blanks and try and understand it, and multiple watchings help you understand it better. And so, yeah.
Those are my favorites as well. The ones that don't hold your hand and explain everything to you. You kind of have to dig into the lore yourself, or like sometimes go back and watch some of the episodes and be like, oh, okay, I'm understanding. So yeah, I definitely get what you mean.
I love that. What is your favorite anime? And what is one anime you are currently watching?
Ooh. Favorite is such a tough choice to choose a favorite.
Pick one of your top 3 or 5 then.
Attack on Titan is fantastic.
That's
more the newer stuff though. Like older stuff though, you got a Vampire Hunter D.
Right. Great one.
Oh, good. That's one of the first ones that I actually was introduced to. Really good. Favorites. My brain gets hyper focused on certain things. So I'm sorry. You said favorites and what was the second part?
Favorites and what is one anime you are currently watching?
Well, I was watching Record of Ragnarok, which is on Netflix. Yeah. But I haven't seen the newer stuff just because I haven't subscribed to Netflix. Oh, thank you. So I haven't seen the newer season, but I think that anime is fantastic. You get gods versus humans, which you think would turn out a certain way, like they're actually like fighting in an arena to determine the fate of the world. And you think the gods would destroy them, but I'm not going to spoil anything, of course, but it's fantastic.
I agree. Really, it was fantastic. Good. It was one of there's a lot of anime on Netflix. Some of it is great, and some of it is not so great, and that was definitely one of the better ones for sure.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm currently watching Mushoku Tensei, the second season on. I think we just finished it though, on Crunchyroll, and a huge fan of that one.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Well, I know you like fantasy as a forever DM and stuff, and the games that you play. It's a very D&D-esque anime. So, like, you would like it if you ever get a chance to. If you have a Crunchyroll account, it's definitely worth checking out.
What is that one about? I may have actually seen it. I
so
know
Mushoku Tensei, it's basically it's an isekai. And there's lots of isekai. There's some good isekai out there and some crappy isekai. And this is the pinnacle of isekai anime. This character is basically a NEET in Japan, and his family hates him. But of course he's a shut-in NEET. And then he kind of wastes his life, right? And he ends up dying in the street. And then he reincarnates in another world, but he reincarnates as a baby.
I have seen this then.
Yeah.
The name threw me off, and I know that I'm not very good with names, but if like I see the image or the face, I'm like, okay, I know them. But yeah, I 100% I know that one. It's really good, really good.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got us off on a tangent there.
No,
you're good.
It's fine. It's fine. Open forum conversation. I'm just not really good at sitting down and watching stuff.
Well, that's what's great about anime. The episodes are 24 minutes long, and if you actually cut out the 4 minutes of the intro and the extra, then it's only 20 minutes. And so that's why I watch 1 or 2 episodes while I'm eating breakfast and lunch, and then Starkitty and I will watch an episode when we have dinner together. And so I get to watch tons of anime all the time.
It's the best time to watch anime during dinner.
Yeah,
that's the best time.
I always get sucked into long forms, so I'm always in the middle of like a 4-hour long video, deep diving to something. I'm one of those ridiculous people. So I'm always like hooked on some sort of long format, and I'm like, I'll get to that thing later. I'll get to that thing later. I'll watch that later. You can send it to me, and I never do.
No,
I try. I do genuinely try.
As long as you try.
My husband's really big into anime too, and he's just like, you would really like this one, and I'm like,
I recommended one for you guys to watch. You guys need to watch it. You will like bawl your eyes out, and you'll be like, Stormy, thank you so much for this. And now I forgot which one it was that I recommended.
No, I know he knows. Okay. I know he knows. He knows somewhere. He's just like, I know he's somewhere in the background going, this one. This one.
I'll remember it and remind you again anyway.
Number 17 is yours.
Oh, it is. Sorry. Thank you. So we were talking anime, and so I got off on. What was your MOS in the military? And you said that you served in the Army. I heard you say earlier.
Yep, I was in the Army. I went in 2003 to 2007, so right out of high school. And my MOS was 13 Papa, which is a multiple launch fire direction specialist. Hang on. Yep. I didn't make sure I do it. It's a mouthful. Essentially, there were vehicles. We had tracked and wheeled vehicles. So basically, they had tracks like a tank does. And they went out and they held either 12 rockets or 2 missiles. And I would tell them where to shoot. That was my job. I sat in another tracked vehicle, kind of looks like an APC, with a computer, and would send them targets.
Yeah.
The recruiter, when I first went in, they offered me it was basically like networking and computer tech, which I should have took. Looking back, I should have took. But right out of high school, they were like, it's going to be 6-year commitment, 6-year contract. It's like, I'm not ready to commit 6 years of my life to something I don't know if I'm going to enjoy.
Right.
And so I was like, what else you got? And he's like, how about blowing stuff up with computers? And young me, I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And
yeah.
It was all right though. Like I didn't actually, when I was deployed, and when I went over, I didn't go over for my job. We were basically FOB security, base security. And so we did like patrols and basically protected the base. I was in Camp Phoenix in Afghanistan, right outside Kabul.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. Thank you very much for serving.
Yes, thank you.
I appreciate that you did.
We appreciate you.
Yeah, it means a lot. I mean, I know, the thing is, obviously in our channels and stuff, we never talk politics because we're all about entertainment and having fun and stuff. We don't care about that. But I think regardless of politics, the fact that people serve their country for a period of time is a commendable and admirable and honorable thing.
Completely agree.
Thank you.
We're gonna switch to some more fun topics now. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Is there more to the wizard hat story? What is there anything? Is there any fun? Is there any the wizard hat?
Tell us about these hats. I want to know. We want to know.
So,
inquiring minds want to know.
when I first started streaming, I didn't have these wizard hats. They were something that were added because it fits the theme, right? The wizard.
Yeah.
What is a wizard without a wizard hat? And
he's Gale. Just kidding.
Also have a grudge against Gale. Just saying. Well, nope. He abandoned our camp.
Well, what did you do?
I told him to hold on a second. I'm gonna go get a magical artifact, and he got mad and left.
The man was stressing, and he just like, I'll be back later.
Sure.
No. Gale's a good dude. He's a good dude. No, don't ask me about Shadowheart. Don't ask me about Shadowheart. So the wizard hat, it was just, what's a wizard without a hat? And I didn't have any wizard hats, so I went on Etsy and I found this lady that makes hats, and she does all kinds of different colors. Like I have a yellow one that I use on special. I guess I could have worn it today. During the charity event, I'll be wearing the yellow one. I have a gray one. This is the first one I started off with, Gandalf looking one.
Ooh, I like it.
And I want to get another one from her, but she does all kinds of different designs. Like you can see the underneath of the hat that has a starry pattern underneath.
I love it.
And just all kinds of patterns. The patch came from somebody else, but that's the main thing. Like, what is a wizard that's not wearing a wizard hat? I mean, that's the bottom line. That's it. What is a wizard that's not wearing a wizard hat?
And the military taught you to be comfortable wearing hats all the time. So
exactly, nonstop wearing hats.
I also
inside.
Yeah, I also apparently wear hats all the time.
Yeah, she's got this one brown hat that sticks right on the back of her head.
I have people ask me if it's a hat all the time, and I'm like, no.
Does it look like a hat?
Does it look like a hat? No. Apparently it is.
Probably me. I'm sorry, I keep looking at chat and I'm like.
No, it's all right. We'll get to him. We'll get to him towards the end of the Q&A.
We'll acknowledge chat. We'll acknowledge chat soon. Don't you worry, chat. Be ready.
So, if you don't mind, as a quick aside, since we're on the hats, the props thing, I'm curious. We talked about a particular prop that I've been really dying to see. I feel like this is a good moment to see it. Can you share with us your mini?
Yeah, so like I mentioned earlier, so this is like a normal sized mini, right? It's my barbarian. This is a Tarrasque.
I love it.
It's not fully painted yet, but my cousin 3D printed this bad boy, and
he did so good.
Swore him to secrecy because I was going to use this at one point in the homebrew campaign. Because why not?
Yeah,
why not?
Why not just pull out the scariest looking mini in the entire world?
Exactly. But yeah, my cousin 3D printed this, and I was working on painting. I just haven't gotten back around.
It's so cool. That is so cool.
For folks who don't know, the Tarrasque in D&D is basically the Godzilla of D&D. It's meant to be the ultimate non-deity level monster. Just a monster, literally a monster. And it's one of my favorites. I've only pulled it a couple of times in my decades of DMing, and you don't pull it without intent.
No, you got some shenanigans going on in the DM brain if you're working on that guy.
Yep. So you said that you had planned to use it in a campaign you didn't get to?
I did. So I had two campaigns going. One was essentially the main campaign in the homebrew world, and then there was a couple people that had to drop out because of work, but they would come back later. So I started like a prequel campaign, and on one of my map for the whole world, there was a place called Liar's Crater, and that none of my players are in here, so I can spoil away. That essentially was where this Tarask was summoned. There was a lot of different things that were going on in the city. There was a meeting of all the dragons that was taking place at the same time. Some parties wanted the dragons wiped out of the world, and so they were working. There was many different avenues to cause this city to basically be non-existent, and they were successful in what they were trying to do. Well, somewhat.
Cool. Thank you.
A little bit of lore for the absolutely.
All right, switching gears a little bit, we're going to ask the last few questions of the interview before we move into the chaos of the Q&A session. First off, though, before we get there, what is the weirdest sleeping dream you have ever had?
Oh my. The weirdest sleeping dream. I would have to say, I think it was like in high school. And I was in a trailer, which was my grandma. My grandmother never lived in a trailer. But I was in a trailer talking to her. I can't remember exactly what it was about. But just all of a sudden, there were all these people looking in the windows, just looking in and smiling and laughing. And I'm like, what? And my grandma's gone. The trailer's like bare bones. All the furniture and everything is gone. And I'm just standing there in my boxers. And I'm like, whoa, okay, we're gonna wake up now.
We're gonna wake up now.
Go.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go.
I'm not comfortable here. Let's get out of here.
Wild. I love that. I love hearing about the dreams because I don't dream. So it's so fun.
Oh, that's unfortunate. But also probably good depending on the dream.
Oh, I'm probably have. It's probably a good thing. My imagination's a little wild.
Oh, I think she probably does dream. She probably just there's some folks who don't
recollection.
Who don't have a recollection of it. Yeah.
Yep. That makes sense.
Zero recollection. If you could have any superpower, which one would you have and why?
We've had this discussion, and I don't know if my chat remembers.
Your cat.
It's been a while, so it would be to. And this is a weird one. It's not a normal superpower, right? It's not like flight, teleportation. It's not anything fancy like that. It's to it's to shoot spaghetti out of my finger, right? So like one side is cooked spaghetti, and then the other side is uncooked, just like hard spaghetti, like shooting spikes out. So you could solve world hunger in one hand, and the other you could use to like, or you could like wrap up bad guys or whatever, and the other one you could use as weapon or protect. Yeah, exactly.
That is the most
beautiful,
unique answer we have had so far in almost a year of Bandwidth and Banter. I love it.
That is the best. My fun fact: my hair. I want to grow my hair out so long that I can just sit here and just like use it as a weapon at a distance. So I get it. Yep. That is beautiful.
Pretty sure you already could.
No, I can strangle somebody with my hair without having to turn and rotate my head. I can, but that's close. That's too close. I want some distance.
You gotta put some distance between them. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So with the spaghetti power, you'd never have to worry about dinner again.
It's true.
Like, oh, spaghetti again.
Everybody needs spaghetti. I love that answer so much.
Mm-hmm. And it really segues nicely to our last question, doesn't it?
Does. Go for it.
Oh, wow.
I know. Flies by. It flies really by. That 45 minutes flies by.
It really does.
Ready, Stormy?
I'm ready.
Go for it.
Oh, I'm the one asking. The last question is strawberry cupcakes or banana pudding?
Ooh. Are we talking like banana pudding that has little wafers in it, or just like straight up banana?
The wafers and every
whatever is your favorite version of banana pudding.
Okay.
Oh, I'd say with the wafers and everything, you got to have the crunch too.
Exactly. Yeah. So if that's in there, we're gonna have to go with the banana pudding with the little wafers and all that in there for sure. For
Fair
sure.
enough.
Strawberry. You said strawberry cupcakes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they sound good, but pudding, hands down, pudding.
Yeah.
Yep.
I feel like that one was a bit too easy because most people would probably say banana pudding, except for of course, certain Banana Tom fellow. But
Poor BT.
yeah.
Nope. I feel zero upsetedness
Yeah.
on his behalf.
I'm not a big fan of strawberries, so that way, I mean, I don't hate them, but I'm not a big fan of strawberry flavoring, and so that's an easy choice for me. But
the artificial banana flavor too, like a lot of things have artificial banana that claim to be banana flavored, and it doesn't. That in itself isn't that great either.
Yeah. Before we move into the next phase, I first want to thank all the new. Wait, what did I? I can't.
To BT.
I first want to thank all the new followers, and I think we got a sub today too. Thank you very much for that,
Yes.
guys. And then also, more importantly, this is our point where we get to highlight this amazing, cool, badass human being. He's a DM. He's a game player. We only got to scratch the surface, but that means you guys get to come up with some more questions. I already have a few percolating in my head right now. So let's jump to it. Guys, please go over to Edible Wizard's channel, support him, send him all your biddies, all your subs,
Yes.
drop your follows if you haven't already. And because he's the kind of folk that we like to bring to light on Twitch, because he is a light on Twitch.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Bring the chaos.
Yeah, here comes the
fun.
All right. So I want to go back and see some of the stuff. Wow, you really spammed the crap out of that. That's good. I approve of this. Well, thank you, Insomnia Night, for the biddies. Wow. Speaking of,
Yeah, thank you for the biddies. Thank you for the biddies.
I know there were some questions that I had seen during, and I was like, "Oh."
So if you had your questions earlier and we didn't get to it, now's the time to re-ask them.
And ask those questions.
Yes. And Neek is stuck with you, or you're stuck with Neek now. Trust me, it's a perfect person to have stuck to your channel. Neek is awesome.
Oh yeah, no, it's the puns are like 10 out of 10. Highly recommend. Yep.
And if you happen to be using Blurp, he can trick the hell out of you all the time.
I seen him get you earlier today with the Discord join sound.
Yes, it even got me. I actually even pulled up my Discord to just because I was gonna kick out whoever it was for them because I'm an admin in the Discord. I was gonna go in there and be like, dare disrupt. But no,
I didn't know you restarted Blurp.
No, that was for you on your stream.
Oh, on my stream, you were going to do it for me. Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah, I was going to pop into the Discord for you, and I was about to like go ham and like be like super mad at someone, but it wasn't. No. Best 15 bits invested in my life.
That was awesome, Neek. All right, Tron Man's got the first question. I'll let Druid run with it.
Well, actually, 2 lines up. Is a Star Kitty question. I'll let you get that.
Oh, you're right. Actually, 1 line before that is a question from BT. So you go.
All right, I go. Okay, perfect. Banana Tom asks, favorite wizard of all time?
Damn good question. Holy shit.
Can I say me?
Absolutely.
No, that's a tough one because there's so many fantastic wizards. There's also terrible wizards. There's so many good ones that are out there in fiction, or excuse me, real life. Of course, I don't know. I would have to go with the more popular one there, Gandalf. So some of his choices I don't really agree with, but always relying on the Eagles to get his stuff done. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Do your own stuff.
I still think it may be the safe choice, but it's an understandable choice because there's just something very charismatic about Gandalf.
Exactly. Yep. I will. And I know this is a heated topic. I do like what they're doing with him in the Rings of Power show. That's on
I haven't.
Amazon.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I like what they're doing with him.
So the next question from my own It's Darkly is, which song could you listen to over and over again?
Ooh. I know certain people in chat would say it's a certain song, but they are wrong. Just don't listen to them. One of my favorite bands is probably Avatar. They're a Norwegian band. It's a heavy metal rock.
Oh, cool.
But there is a song they have called Puppet Master. It has a very circusy vibe to it. It's fantastic. I definitely recommend it if you do like some heavy metal and stuff that sounds a little bit different than what's out there.
Avatar is the name of the group?
Avatar, yes.
I like the name already. I'll check it out.
And what was the song?
Puppet Master.
Love it. Perfect.
All right. I think it's the Tron Man question now.
If you were a really take two. If you were a real wizard, would you be more like Harry Potter or Gandalf?
Oh, I'm gonna have to go with Gandalf again because Harry Potter. A lot that can be said about him. He, from a wizard's perspective, again, like there's one spell that he just relies on. When you have this whole arsenal of things you can use, and he just stupefy over that. That's like, I mean, I get it. That's his bread and butter. He's worked on that spell. He's good with it, but you have a whole arsenal, and that's what you go to. But Gandalf.
Yeah, love it.
As a huge fan of, I'm going to pipe in and share my thoughts on some of these wizardly topics. As a huge fan of Arthurian legends, I would have gone for Merlin first, which again is sort of a safe choice, I suppose. But speaking of that, Neek asks an interesting question. Who do you like the most between Jafar and Merlin?
Those are definitely entirely different.
Exactly. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
I think Neek is trying to set us up. I don't know.
Merlin, he's your typical wizard, right? He worked towards his skills. Jafar was granted his ability. I guess depending on how you look at it, but he was granted his abilities. He wasn't born with his abilities. So I'm gonna have to go with Merlin there because Jafar didn't earn his wizardry the same way the rest of us did.
I love it.
I just realized there's like half of a D&D party here. You're Edible Wizard. I'm Druid IRL. We're half of a D&D party right here.
Exactly. we just need somebody that's not squishy, and then we're good to go.
We need a barbarian.
This isn't a question, but I love Nevertoad's comment. You're a wizard, Harry.
That is actually when I get a follow that plays.
Yep.
And this little horse comes out with a taco in its mouth. If you haven't seen it,
you should hold the follow. Exactly.
BT asked a question.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna get this one. What is the dirtiest trick that you've ever played on a party as a DM? Or if there was
one worse that happened to you.
Yeah. If there was one worse that happened to you. Weirdly typed, but it is also late for BT.
Okay. There's so many times I've done things to my players. So this goes back to the decorating things. One of my players, the Blood Hunter, he had pulled the Fiend. It's the one that you have a devil that's chasing you that like wants your life to be ruined. Like his ultimate goal is to kill you, but before he does that, he is out to destroy your life. So one of the first things I did was cursed him so he couldn't get drunk from alcohol anymore. And his character was something he loved to do as his character, and I took it from him. But the only reason I took it is so I can later on give it back to try to get this demon's underlings to steal something from him. So I gave him back the ability to get drunk. He got drunk. And unfortunately, somehow, even with disadvantage, when he rolled his perception with disadvantage, he was still able to detect that somebody was sneaking in his room, and it was very upsetting. But it made for a really cool story, because then there's this whole chase scene where they were chasing this little goop monster, and
I love that.
Really
Goop
cool.
monster.
That's a great story. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that.
Starkey asks, what would you title your biography and why?
Oh,
that's a hard one, Starkey.
That is a hard one.
Jeez.
Oh, especially be like, give us an answer. I don't know. That'd probably be it. I don't know the name of it. I don't know.
I don't know what to title this book by Edible Wizard.
Exactly. I think it would be something to grab people's attention, and just like, why is this book named that? So they pick it up and like either read the back or look in the inside cover. Make them pick it up.
Do not touch.
Yeah. Do not steal this book. Do not buy this book.
That's good. How about you, Druid? What would you name yours?
It's a tough one.
It would have to be snarky though. I don't know. It would just be like something stupid, like laughter at the end of the tunnel or some crazy shit. Because I've been through a lot of ridiculous shit in my life. But like at the end of the day, like I can laugh about it now. But like, I don't know. Something cheesy like that probably. Or it would be the do not read. Save your soul.
What popped into my head when I was thinking if I were going to write the title to your biography was Love and Angry Green Tomatoes. I don't know why. That's what popped into my head.
Great.
And I think if I were to write one for Edible Wizard, it would be what's this thing eating my head?
Perfect.
For myself, I think mine's already written. It's Storm Saga Games.
Oh, that's a good one. Yep.
That is true.
Yep.
I expect it. I expect the book out in a couple years, Stormy.
Damn, I'm not that old.
Okay, in like 10 years. Okay, fine. Anyways, Mona asks, okay, but like, oh nope, that's not a question. Sorry, Mona.
Mona did ask a question though.
But yep, no, I see it right here. No, I got lost in the I hate Jafar. If you had a real life wish spell, what would you use it on?
Does the exhaustion come as a after effect? Because if it does, like, I don't want to go through that. That sounds terrible. Probably wouldn't use it if that was one of the side effects. But really, to answer the question, eliminate cancer. I mean, that's the biggest thing for me. Like, one of the reasons I do the charity is back in 2019, my uncle passed from cancer, and then 6 months later, my dad passed from cancer.
I'm sorry.
So that's one of the main reasons that I do the charity event, is to help support people that are going through that, and so other people don't have to experience that.
Thank you for sharing that. That's meaningful. Appreciate you.
Absolutely.
That's a really good question too, Mona Spector. I
can't go
Luminous
far.
Pool.
I can't.
Am I seeing the next question is Luminous
back.
Pool? Yeah. Luminous Pool asks, is someone new to D&D and my first campaign starting in the next month, hopefully. What are a few tips for things I may expect being a party member? I think we could all offer something, but let's start with Edible Wizard since this is his interview.
I love having new players because just the experience. Like, you'll get players that aren't really big into role playing, and it slowly grows on them. Mm-hmm. But what you should expect to experience, I'm sorry, like my brain goes one way and it's one track mind. But to answer the question, it really depends on what type of group, how the group's being ran. Like, new players that come in with me, I try to run a session that is fairly easy. And I tell the experienced players, it's like, hey, stand back sometimes, let them experience how things are run. Let them do some things. Don't tell them what to do. Let them say what they want to do. If they're confused, let me handle it. Try to. You guys are experienced. You guys know how this works. But I will say a lot of it depends on how your group runs their sessions. But you should definitely expect a lot of fun. Because the D&D is a blast with a good group. I will say that.
What do you think, Druid? What can you add to Edible's excellent assessment?
I think, well, honestly, so this campaign that we're playing on Saturdays is my very first D&D campaign. Stormy was my, like, though I had a couple of like false starts with campaigns, this is my first true campaign that I've been able to play, that had experienced players, and I was the newbie of the party. Something to expect. I agree with Insomnia Night. Expect it to be really fun. Like, definitely expect it to be fun. But advice that I could give as a new player is just asking questions. And also remember that rules in D&D, and this is also something to talk with your DM about for sure, but remembering, like, the rules are there as guidelines. So don't be afraid to just be like, I kind of want to, like, drop kick this person off of the ledge instead of just, whatever. Like, I kind of want to go do this. Like, I want to try this. Can I try this thing? And, like, just being open about being like, I want to do the cool thing. And most people are going to be like, you can do the cool thing.
Yeah.
That sounds because it's cool.
Yeah.
So definitely the rule of cool is a thing that most people, but, like, remember the rules are meant to be broken as long as you have open communication with your DM about it. Mm-hmm. Communicate with your DM. Yep. For sure.
I would add one thing, really, and since you're really new, and that's expect to get out what you put in. So if you put in a positive vibe, a fun atmosphere, that you want to have fun, you really go for it with the role play. You just let yourself go and embody the character and try and learn and have fun and play along with everything. Then not only will you have a better time, but everybody else at the table will too. So,
oh yeah, because trust me, it's so much more fun that way.
Yeah. That's right. See, that's Fern. Oh, and by the way, even Fern, this youngin' over here, can have mental brain farts every once in a while, calling Edible Wizard Insomnia Night there a second ago.
No, because it was actually I was agreeing
comment
with
from
Edible
Insomnia
Wizard's
Night.
chat.
Well, the funny thing is he said the same thing that Edible Wizard did, so that's why I thought I didn't realize.
No, because I was looking at chat. I was like, yeah, no, I agree with you. Yeah.
Looks like the next one is Robo Ninja asks you, Marvel or DC Comics?
Oh, Marvel. Marvel, hands down. I think what they're doing with the new movies, but comic book wise, Marvel. Their DC does have some great characters, but storylines are just all over the place. And with DC's movies, their universe, they've restarted their universe so many times. I feel like it's going to get confusing to people that keep going and like rewatching. How many times do we have to watch Batman's parents die?
Yeah. Yep.
Come on.
I know that. Sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead. You go ahead.
I did like the new Batman movie where it was year one Batman. What's his face? The Twilight feller.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
Yeah, that feller.
The super memorable guy that played Batman.
Super memorable. Can't remember his name.
I think it's Robert Patterson. Yeah,
there it is. Thank you.
There you go. I had to go back way too long into my own psyche to remember that one.
It was a good Batman, but not a good Bruce Wayne, in my opinion. All right, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, I know that somebody DM'd you a question.
Oh, Zhao did. Yeah. That's not one we're gonna address on stream.
Oh, okay.
Perfect.
Did you want to take Star Kitties, or did you want to jump down and take Neeks, and then we'll go back up?
Oh,
Old man.
sorry. I wasn't sure if you were talking to me or not.
No, sorry. I was talking to Druid about which question to do next.
I don't see. There's a lot of purple in chat today.
Yeah, I'll just do it real quick, and then you can do Star Kitties, okay? Neek asks, what is your stand on wearing a robe?
If I had a robe, like a wizard robe, I would totally wear that when I streamed.
That's pretty cool.
I need to get, now that I think about it, I need to get one because what's a wizard without a robe? And then a staff. I need a staff too. Those are two things that I do not. As a wizard, I'm slacking, I guess. I need a robe.
You need a staff.
Don't be hard on yourself. You're rocking the hat. You got the spectacles. You got the beard. You even got a beholder on your chest.
You do. I'm a little fan. I usually wear that when I DM just to scare the crap out of my players. Of like, is he bringing out? Because they know I painted a beholder, but they don't. They know I painted one, and I always keep teasing them that I'm going to throw a beholder at them, but it hasn't happened yet.
It's okay. I've had some shocks with beholders. 2 in particular. One of them is great. Old Man Garrus, yes. That's all I'm gonna say. Star Kitty asks, if you could have any animal sidekick, what would it be and why? For your
sloth. Sloth. I think they're amazing little things that have, if you don't know, like they have a whole environment that live, like a whole ecosystem that live in their fur, which is kind of disgusting, but 100% it would be a sloth. I would love to have a little sloth buddy that's just hanging out here or like doing his thing, let him do his thing, but
just hangs on your staff. It just big chills. You just have a eucalyptus staff. It just keeps spouting out eucalyptus for it.
Amazing.
That's actually really cool. It's perfect. It's also perfect because it's just always going to be clinging to you and keep you warm and safe and make you feel good. I love it.
And it will never run away.
That's true.
If it tries, I'm pretty sure I can catch it.
It's never going to dodge the enemy's spells, though.
Oh, yeah, that's unfortunate.
No, he's there for emotional support.
All right, Zhao had a bear question, he said.
Oh, that's the one that's
okay, we won't go there. All right.
Yeah.
We can
no, that's a different one. The bear question is something entirely different, but it's kind of spoilers for Baldur's Gate, so I can't.
Oh, I know.
Okay, yeah, please don't. Yeah, no spoilers. Yeah.
Yep.
So, is it my turn or yours, Druid?
It's your turn.
I'm going to ask, Zhao has a question. Why would we survive a zombie apocalypse together?
First off, I have some experience handling weapons, but also I already have a zombie apocalypse plan. So a lot of people say go to the Costco, the big places, like get your own base and make it huge, put all these defenses up. No. You want to keep it small. The more stuff you have, the more other people are going to want it. depending on which zombies you're dealing with, like if you got the fast zombies, okay, we're probably screwed. But if you get the slow walker type ones that you can just easily walk around, then it's going to be cake. The only problem you're going to have is other people wanting what you have. So you keep what you have small. You have stashes all over the place. You never stay in the same place. Move from place to place, and just survive that way.
Okay, that's
sounds terrible doing it that way, and it will be terrible. But you won't have to worry about other people trying to take what you have.
Yep.
It's a good thing that we don't have to worry about it.
Oh yeah.
You never know. You never know.
I'm pretty sure I know that we're not going to have a zombie apocalypse.
Never know.
I'm there with you, Druid.
Let's see.
You never know.
You never know.
Looking for if there's any more.
Any more questions, chat? Edible Wizard, if you have any questions for us, where do I come in? I said, how do you and me survive?
Oh, you and me? Well, all right. To tell no, the same way, right? We could both do the same thing. We were two people keeping it small, same way, right? You don't establish a base, because then you'll get people showing up. You won't be able to trust people. You can't trust people in a situation like that. You can't.
Yeah, exactly.
I've played Among Us and Goose Goose Duck. I know you can't trust people.
Goose Goose Duck.
Goose Goose Duck is so much fun.
I felt that in my soul. All
right, he's all freaking out.
Insomnia Night.
Insomnia Night asks you, when do you want to come play some Chaos D&D with me?
Chaos D&D?
What? If you go check out Insomnia Night's channel, his D&D is a unique experience for sure.
Wild chat engagement.
It's easier if you just go watch it. You'll understand, and then you can make your assessment and decision there. It is worth the experience, though. It's worth checking out.
It is an experience for sure. It's so much fun.
It is very different and unique.
Check it out. Yeah. Is there any other kind bonus?
Neek asked, what is the most important feature for you when you create a character in an RPG? Fucking phenomenal question.
That is a great question.
For me, I usually, of course, roll stats. I do the 4d6, drop the lowest. And then I usually base the backstory based upon the stats. But for me, it's the backstory. Building a story in a world that has no limits, really, that you can, where you can do essentially whatever you want, as long as, of course, you're speaking with your DM and everything is what you're doing is cool with what they're trying to do. Mona Spector there in chat, she was working on starting a campaign, and there was a character that I put together, a Warforged monk, who was based around a video game character for a game called Paragon. It was a MOBA game, but it basically is a big green robot that likes to punch stuff. And so that was going to be one of my characters. But for me, it's backstory, adding lore to our world and seeing how your DM establishes that character in the lore they already have or what they're going to do with it. I think it's so much fun. I love building backstories.
I love doing the backstory stuff so much. It is so cool.
Well, what's cool about the backstory is it becomes kind of the root and the core of what I, as a DM and player, enjoy the most from my players, and that's the motivation. What is the motivation of your character? Why are they doing what they're doing? And the backstory helps to color that and fill in the blanks and give them a way to go. But the cool thing is some of the best role playing comes when they challenge their own kind of motivations because you created a situation that makes them rethink their motivations, and just a lot of nuances that go into it for sure.
I love it.
That story that I was talking about with the goop monster, where they were chasing the blood hunter, and where I let him get drunk again. That was one of those situations, right? This goop monster ended up having a music box on him. And they cranked it open, and it had inside the music box was a piece of bark from the blood hunter's home village. Was this massive tree in the middle of the village, and it was a piece of bark from that. And they were already on a mission to slip a ring onto one of the council members in this town on his finger, because they suspected that he was betraying the city. So then he was torn. He gets this piece of bark from his hometown, basically as a message saying, like, "Hey, I'm here at your hometown." So now he's torn. Does he want to stay with the group? Does he want to try and convince the group to go to his hometown, which I think is going to do. But it's fantastic. It's fantastic. I love doing stuff.
Oh yeah, it's a story. You're building a story.
Yes, exactly. You're building a story together. It's a collaborative experience, a synchronistic experience,
cooperative storytelling experience. I think it's amazing. They tell the story as much as I do.
I think that was the last one. Did you have any questions for us, Edible Wizard?
I actually really want to know what Neek. This question from Neek, really quick. I am so sorry. What type of fantasy setting do you like the least? Or you hate the most?
Ooh,
that's a good question.
What is the fantasy setting that you don't like?
Oh, that's a tough one. I honestly can say pretty much like everyone that I've been in or have taken part of, I've thoroughly enjoyed. Like currently, I am in a cyberpunk red tabletop game. That's a lot of fun. Can't say that there's really. Oh man, homebrews are my favorite. I will say that homebrews are my favorite. It gives the players and the DM a little bit more leeway to do what they want. And if plus I don't want to sit there as a DM. I don't want to sit there and memorize everything in a book. Yeah, and I can build my own thing and give the players direct answers as to stuff that's going on in the world. And instead of reading out of a book, it's like, you see this, and this, and this. Me, not fun for me.
Yeah,
the answer went all over the place, but
no, that's a great answer.
Hey, I followed along. I followed it. I experienced the zigzag with you. You're fine. I think in zigzags too.
I agree. Druid, I'm gonna let you have the last question, which is the last post right now. I think it's a great one to start wrapping up the interview with. It sounds like a juicy, interesting thing.
Yeah, but I do think Edible Wizard may have had a question for us because I did interrupt him. So I will ask this one question. Right. Then we're canceling chat's questions. What we're supposed to ask you about red hot dogs?
No.
Not that kind of cancel, never tilt.
Was it Colby? It was Colby.
Yeah, it was Colby.
Yeah, it was Colby.
I'm going to call him out for you. Love you, Colby.
So, red hot dogs are a thing, right? Like have you seen them? So,
yeah, they make me gag.
Yeah. Thank you. Versus, what about normal, like brown hot dogs?
Perfectly
you're cool
fine.
with those, right? Thank you. So red hot dogs are made of, this may or not be true, are made of everything that they don't put in normal hot dogs. And chat is convinced that red hot dog, well, not all of chat, Colby specifically, that red hot dogs are better and more and superior to normal hot dogs. And as a glizzy connoisseur, I can say that he is wrong.
Gotcha.
I support you.
Yes, we support you. So, any questions for us before we wrap up, brother?
I was going to ask
or you can ask
both
chat.
of you the same question. I could ask chat. What is your favorite class to DM for, Stormy?
Favorite class
pull
to
that question
DM
on
for?
you. Yes.
Oh, okay. That's an interesting one. Well, I guess I want to understand the context of your question. You mean the favorite class that I like to see my characters play because it plays it?
Yeah. Just from a DM's perspective, you see your character, your player's concepts, and you see a specific character, and you're like, oh yeah.
Yeah. Specific character class. Ooh. As one of his players, this intrigues me.
This is a non-answer answer, but I can't pick a favorite because I see my view, my big picture view of everything is that the character class, the profession that they've chosen as an adventurer, is only one facet of them, and there are multiple different facets that they could choose from, and like I like them all for different reasons, and I feel like they're there to facilitate what's the story and the experiences that the characters are playing. Like I said, if you'd ask me as a player, then I can probably answer that. But as a DM, I honestly I like them all equally. There might be some that I might, like you said with the Artificer, there might be I'm not saying that one specifically, but there might be some that I'm not as excited to see. But I am always excited to be open enough to see if they surprise me. So
fantastic answer.
Yeah. As a player, man, that's a tough one too. Probably right now. I guess it changes with the. I mean, I've been playing D&D, so playing and mostly DMing, forever DM, for so long that it kind of changes with the times, with what's going on and everything. And right now,
like what's hot in D&D right now?
On a kick with bards and sorcerers. Whereas my early days of D&D, it was like fighters and paladins, and so yeah. Druid.
I obviously had to pick Druid class as my first D&D character. It only made sense, you know. But I really want to play a martial class so bad. You have no idea. I don't even, at this point, I'm just like, any martial class will do at this point. Deep down inside, I just want to hit things really hard.
Barbarian. That's
so,
release that aggression.
Not biased or anything, but barbarian.
Yeah. So it's one of those things like I get really competitive and aggressive, and I just feel like I really deep down inside,
barbarian.
Any martial class at this point. I do feel like a barbarian would be so much fun.
I had a,
after hearing you talk about it and thinking about it a little bit more, I'm gonna come back and answer a little bit more honestly. I mean, it's not that I wasn't being honest, but something occurred to me. If I had to pick a character class that I'm kind of surprised and excited by the most when a player picks, it's one of the rare ones that people don't pick that often, like a monk, for example. I'm always like, oh, that you picked a monk. Okay, I can do things. This is good. I'm like, I find this interesting. I'm gonna see how they go with this, because there's lots of ways to interpret a monk, and so
absolutely.
Yeah, so I guess to answer your question more specifically and fully.
Cool.
And by the way, Druid, you're a phenomenal Druid, and I look forward to seeing whatever kind of class that you play, whether it be a martial class or not, in the future.
That was actually going to be my question for Druid, is if you were to make a new character, what class would you choose?
So I was playing a D&D game offline with a group of friends, and I was multi-classing an Echo Knight with Barbarian. And I'm going to tell you right now, I loved that combo so much. It was
fantastic. My prequel campaign that was going to have the Tarrasque in it, one of the players was a goblin fighter Echo Knight, and it was amazing. It was amazing.
I'm gonna tell you, like, I loved that combo so much. Like, I could play a full campaign with that combo if my DM. But that's a conversation. That's a whole conversation. But no, I would absolutely at this point, literally any martial class. I would go, I know I would love Barbarian, just dumb as a box of rocks and just
you could even play it the other way around, and that's something I love is when you're expecting something from like a Barbarian. You think they're dumb. They're not smart, but then you get a player that is playing it the other way around, like it's a super smart barbarian, and I just love when players do stuff that you're not expecting.
Right. That's exactly why I think I went back and re-answered with Monk, because it's not something you typically see and expect from a player, and because if you think about it, a monk kind of subverts the whole idea of D&D. Because monks don't usually wear weapon or use weapons. I mean, they can if they're monk-specific weapons, right? But that means that, and they don't usually wear very much gear. So they're not going to be loot goblins, right? Because there's not a lot of loot that is appealing to a monk. Plus, their philosophy of life is not necessarily going to be loot goblin-y. And so, like I said, it's like when a player subverts my expectations, I'm like, okay, I'm in for a great game session with these folks right now.
Mona has, just to clarify, the OK Pistachio was one of my characters. He was a fairy barbarian, and Pistachio.
Did you say fairy barbarian?
Fairy barbarian.
I love it. I love it.
That is the definition of me as a human being. Just saying.
Definitely one of my favorites.
Was it 3.5?
He was stupid. No, this was 5th edition. The 5th edition fairies that are in the what is it? The Wild Beyond the Witchlight, or one of the books. Fairies come in.
Cool.
And they're goblin size, but as they level up, you can get enlarge reduce on them. But being a barbarian, that's not gonna really.
Right.
But he basically Drax, right, from Guardians of the Galaxy. Anything he said, he took it at face value.
That's cool.
He and his weapon was, because he's small size creature. He couldn't use, but it'd be a disadvantage if you're using the bigger weapons, because tiny dude. So it was basically an enlarged butter knife is what he used as his weapon. I love
that so much. Neek, by martial class, I mean non-spellcaster, so barbarian, monk, knight, whatever that might be, where they're just not spell focused. They're focused on, I have a stick and I'm gonna whack you with it, and it's gonna hurt really bad.
She likes to do that even with just her druid.
I do. Bonus action cast Shillelagh and whack him with my stick. And I have killed a giant that way. Just saying.
She did. She got the last hit on it.
Oh, nice. Nice.
It was awesome. It was epic.
Whacking it.
Speaking of epic, this interview has been epic. Edible Wizard, thank you so much for joining us for Bandwidth and Banter. We got to wrap up now, though, sadly.
It was my pleasure. Thank you for having me. Thank you so much. It was.
Are you kidding? It's been an honor and a privilege, sir. You're exactly the kind of folk that we like to find on Twitch and highlight because, like I said, you're a light.
Thank you so much, and I appreciate you guys bringing me on to ask all these questions and the shenanigans from my community over there. So
Indeed.
Thank you guys.
You have an amazing community. We're honored and blessed. We're honored that they got to come by and hang out with us. And just fantastic folks. guys, for all of our folks who are watching, support Edible Wizard. Go drop him a follow and check out his content. And everyone, biddies and subs, right?
And then don't forget November 7th, has his
right.
It's the first
charity stream.
First week in November. So the 1st through the 7th, we, like I said, we have 16 different streamers that are taking part in this. There's all kinds of events, which real quick, there is one of the things that's there's going to be a giveaway. You donate so much, and then you get entered in for a customized dice box that one of our people that's participating, he made it. I picked the colors. It's purple and yellow. It's a customized dice box and a holder for your dice. There'll be pictures up and everything later, but thank you guys. Thank you so much.
No, you're welcome.
So
Thank you for highlighting that for us.
Yes.
I appreciate you so much. Wow, that was phenomenal. Edible Wizard was fantastic, as we knew he would be.
Absolutely. I was so excited. I've been so hyped because I'm just like, I never get a chance to really spend too much time in his chats. I do get to lurk, and I'm just like, this is so great that we get to chat, and any excuse to talk about D&D with somebody and like get their perspective, especially with a DM, like as like a player only, and like new to D&D, I'm just like, share your wisdom with me. Share your wisdom with me. And I love it. It's wonderful.
I'm fortunate that I frequently am hanging out with Banana Tom, and we'll raid into Edible Wizard, or Edible Wizard will come hang out in Banana Tom's or even my chat sometimes. And I honestly just sometimes when he's streaming, I'll just go like throughout the week, lurk or pop in and say hello and see how he's doing and watch his content. He's amazing. So guys, thank you for supporting him. Continue to support him. And that's it for tonight's Bandwidth and Banter. Before we wrap up completely, though, next week is
here in Chicago.
Oh yeah,
here in Chicago.
He's
our little resident pain in my ass.
Yeah,
but I'm so excited.
I like to call him. What did I come up with today? He's the what's that game he plays with? That's like soccer.
Rocket League.
Yeah, Rocket League. He's our Lord of Rockets. Rocket cards. That's even better. Lord of Rocket cards. I like that. So thank you guys. Come check us out next Friday for another episode of Bandwidth and Banter with Kieran Chicago. Thanks again for joining us tonight. And we'll do our little wrap up real quick here. You ready for this, Druid?
Ready.
Thank you for coming to the show.
Please drop a like, subscribe, and comment down below.
If you're listening to the podcast,
please rate and review the episode.
We are Bandwidth
and Banter.
Thank you.
And good night.
Goodbye. Fantastic.
Goodbye. We're doing so good.